are the text of psychology. Sorry, this is P.R. Sarkar included psychology, the part of philosophy. Without psychology, philosophy cannot be understood. Since the philosophy of language is also philosophy, that is why without psychology, the philosophy of language cannot be grasped. And without a spiritual cult, there is no mastery over psychology. So for understanding the linguistics or for understanding the philosophy of language, the knowledge of psychology is must. That is why P.R. Sarkar's view on word and the word. The word is a psychological codified form of the word. The word, I repeat, the word is a psychological codified form of the word. Nyaya Vaisheshik philosophical system says that the word is knowable and nameable. And what is knowable? Geyatvam avidheyatvam cha padartha samanya lakshanam. So what is knowable? Knowable is the psychological process of internalization and interiorization of the word. This is internalization and this is interiorization. What is internalization? Through the epistemology, we can internalize the external world. And what is the interiorization? Interiorization is the psycho-spiritual way. Through the meditation, through the spiritual cult, we can grasp the world within. We can realize the world. Word means universe within. So knowable is the psychological process of internalization and interiorization of the word. And what is the nameable? Nameable is the psychological codification of the internalized or interiorized word. Nameable means language. After decodification of this psychological form, this nameable word, what is going to remain? The word itself is emerges. So that is why he mentioned what is the word? The word is psychic wave. And what is the meaning? The meaning is the psychophysical parallelism. Now, in that background, if we see what is the language, language is knowledge. So language has a form and a content. So this form can be known or can be formulated with the help of grammar. Naam Roopatmakam Jagat. So form is the naam. Content is the quality of that form which is inherent in the form. And what is the grammar? Grammar is a relationship between form and content. Without the knowledge of grammar, we can't connect the form with its content. So that is why well-formedness is the concern of a grammar of a language. This is a broad perspective of the language and grammar. So form is sabda. All sounds are not the word. Only linguistic sound or linguistic noise can be treated word. As Patanjali, Maharshi Patanjali, in Mahabhasya, chapter number 1, that is named Paspasahani, has clearly defined what is the Shabda. Shabda is Eno Charitene Sasana Langul Kakud Khur Vishaninam Samprattayo Bhavati Sahasabdaha. Samprattayo Bhavati. Through which linguistic noise we are going to get the knowledge. That is the word. In other perspective, he redefined the Shabda Pratit Padartho Padarthako Loke Dhwani Shabda iti Uchyate. So Dhwani linguistic noise can be also treated word. If that linguistic noise is mentioning the form, the content of any existence of this universe. So word, the Shabda is the form. And on the basis of this linguistic sound, P.R. Sarkar gave the theory of formation of the Shabda. And he mentioned how the Shabda is formulated. Shabda is created from psychoacoustic notes. And Shabda is created from inferential acoustic notes. Acoustic is the root cause of forming the word. This is the I think this is the peculiar contribution of the P.R. Sarkar in the field of linguistics, or we can say in the philosophy of language. Acoustic is the root cause of the forming the word. Before P.R. Sarkar, if we'll see our Sanskrit Shastra, if we see basically the Nirukt, in Nirukt, it is written, Sarve Shabdah Dhatujah, or somewhere Akhyatajah va. This is the mat, this is the, we can say, the point, standpoint of the Yask and Shakatayan. They mentioned all the words came from the Dhatu. But P.R. Sarkar went one step ahead and says that verbs came from qualitative sound. So I think this is the peculiar contribution ki P.R. Sarkar is mentioning from where dhatu is coming. The dhatu is coming from the qualitative sounds. And nouns, adjectives, and the different verbal expressions, prefixes and suffixes were created from verbs. So that is why I think we need a further research on this chapter, on this point of P.R. Sarkar, where he is mentioning that all these dhatu, these roots are coming from the qualitative sounds. Then this form can be also divided into two. One is the spoken form, another is the written form. So what is the content? Swamiji, am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What is content? Content is what the form refers to. Content refers to the meaning of the word. Content refers the word of our experience. Content is the referent of language. Padasya artha padartha. And this content is semantics, artha vigyan. And the grammar is a relationship which connects waves of the word with its waves of the meaning. Therefore, the grammar is a relationship between form and content. This is the broad picture of grammar, Vyakaran. It is a relationship which connects the form with its content. P.R. Sarkar emphasized on Sampratyay and its methodology. What is Sampratyay? Sampratyay is waves of the form, content, and cognition. Waves of the form is psychic wave. Waves of the content is psychophysical wave. And waves of the cognition is psycho-spiritual wave. And parallelism of the waves is essential for understanding of word and meaning. Without parallelism, without, we can say, the samanjasya of waves, we can't grasp the meaning of particular word. So parallelism is also required. And this parallelism are these psychic waves or psychophysical waves or psycho-spiritual waves can be understood through our Nyaya Siddhanta Muktavali, Karika number 1, and Shabd Khanda. So in Shabd Khanda, Vishwanath Nyaya Panchanan has mentioned that the Karika is like this. Pad Jnanam tu Karanam Dwaram Tatra Padartha Dhi Shabda Bodha Phalam Tatra Shakti Dhi Sahakarani. Pad Jnanam tu Karanam. The knowledge of the Pada is the instrument of Shabda Bodha. This is the Asadharana Karan, peculiar cause of Shabda Bodha. Dwaram Tatra Padartha Dhi. Padartha Dhi. Dhi means remembrance. Remembrance of the meaning of the word is the Vyapara. Dwara means Vyapara, function. And Shakti Dhi Sahakarani. And what is the Shakti? The knowledge of relationship between word and meaning. This is the Sahakarani, auxiliary cause of this Shabda Bodha. Shabda Bodha is the effect, it is the result. So, how we can know the Padagyan? how we can know the Padarth Dhi, how we can know the Shakti Dhi. Here psychology is required. Without the understanding of psychology, we can't know the Padagyana, we can't know the Padarth Dhi, we can't know the Shakti Dhi. That is why, what is the Padagyana? Padagyana is the psychic wave. Knowledge of world is the psychic wave. And what is the Padarth Dhi? Remembrance of meaning of the world. Means psychophysical wave. Psychophysical wave can be treated the Padarth Dhi. And what is the Shakti Dhi? Shakti is the relationship between word and meaning. That is why Shakti Dhi is the parallelism between psychic wave and physical wave. This is the typo between psychic wave and physical wave. This is the relationship. And what is the Shabda Bodha? Shabda Bodha is the psychophysical parallelism. So through understanding of this psychology, we can grasp the exact meaning of this karika in the light of P.R. Sarkar's view.
Now, what you have to conclude. Anilji, within 5 minutes you have to conclude, because you have
okay, to... Okay, I will try to conclude. There are 3 types of bodies and 3 types of waves. Means physical body, mental body, and spiritual body. So in physical body, physical wave is there. Mental body, psychic wave is there. In spiritual body, spiritual wave is there. So here the word is psychic wave, and the meaning of the word is psychophysical parallelism. Suppose speaker speaks the sound. Sound means linguistic sound. This is spoken by the speaker. Then Padagyan, psychic wave. Hearer, through psychic wave, he will get the knowledge of that particular linguistic sound. This is the psychic wave of the hearer. Then this meaning of this word can be known through physical wave of that object. So this physical wave of the object, we can say, without the parallelism of this word through this physical wave, the meaning of this word cannot be understood by the hearer. That is why, what is the meaning of the word? Meaning of the word is the psychophysical parallelism. Meaning of the linguistic sound means word clears after the connection of psychic wave with physical wave of the object. But now it's like one example. Suppose if a speaker uttered the cat, then psychic wave is the Padagyana, then physical wave of the cat, and through parallelism of psychic wave and physical wave, then meaning of the cat can be known by the hearer. So this is the meaning of the cat is the psychophysical parallelism. It is the meaning of this particular cat word. Now 2 methods of psychophysical parallelism is there. One is the direct method, another is indirect method. Direct method of psychophysical parallelism is like this. Suppose I will start from here. Vibration of the object. Each and every object of this universe is having the vibration. So that vibration can be grasped by the sense organ, and this sense organ will connect that vibration to our unit chitta, and in unit chitta the image of this object will be formed, and this unit chitta will connect the unit aham. In unit aham, the vibration of this particular object can be realized, but this unit aham cannot be exist without the unit mahat. That is why this unit aham will transmute that the image of that vibration to unit mahat. This unit mahat, unit aham, and unit chitta is the combined form is called unit mind, and this unit mahat and cannot exist without the unit consciousness, and this is unit consciousness is the witnessing entity of all the process in direct method of psychophysical parallelism. So this vibration is the physical parallelism. This unit mind vibration is the psychic waves, and through this psychic wave and physical waves parallelism, the meaning of that particular word can be realized. And what is this unit consciousness? When this psychic wave will connect the spiritual wave, that is then we can say ideas can be grasped. Innovative ideas can be grasped. That is why psycho spiritual babes pay the role model for getting the innovative ideas. And that is the ultimate enjoyment. And indirect method of psychophysical parallelism is what? Suppose when the object expressed in the world is not perceived directly, and thus physical parallelism cannot be made directly. In this case, physical parallelism has been made by our impressions. Those impressions are accumulated from our birth or from our karma or from our circumstances. Transformation of human beings through psycho-spiritual parallelism, psychophysical parallelism does not become cruder and allow to liberate human beings. So this is the transformation of human beings can be done through psycho-spiritual parallelism. If psycho-spiritual parallelism will not work, then psychophysical parallelism, if working, then our thoughts will be the cruder and cruder, and ultimately we feel puzzled. That is why constant remembrance is required. Through constant remembrance, if whatever psychophysical parallelism is there, those psychophysical parallelism will not create much impressions in our chitta, then we will be always in the light mode. This is called niskam karma. So P.R. Sarkar says the complete development of integrated bodies and their parallelism of babes are an essentiality for perfect spiritual realization. He says that physical body is also required, development of mental body is also required, and development of spiritual body is also required. And through this, through a strong physical body and through mentally fit body and spiritually elevated person can lead the society. So the conclusion is the contribution of P.R. Sarkar in the field of cognitive science is unique, needs further research. He emphasized that linguistics may be treated as the subject of applied psychology. He academically analyzed the word and meaning in the background of Indian intellectual, philosophical, psychological, and spiritual traditions. The psycho-spiritual parallelism is idea or bhava, connects linguistics with the subject spirituality in scientific manner. Conceiving idea on the psychic level is called ideology. So again, I conclude, as per view of the P.R. Sarkar, the word is a psychic wave and the meaning of that particular word is the psychophysical parallelism. But we should not be always think on psychophysical parallelism. Psycho-spiritual parallelism is required for getting the as it is meaning of the particular word and for our spiritual progress, for our liberation as well. Thank you one and all for giving me this wonderful opportunity, and I really blessed with our Professor Yasar Bhatt sir. In front of him, I would able to present the P.R. Sarkar's view on word and meaning. Thank you one and all for giving me this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you.